Hi builders, welcome to the e-learning tool. My name is Jackie de Klerk. I'm your success coach, and in this tutorial I will show you how to set up basic e-learning configurations. And after this tutorial, please make sure to watch the other tutorials below this video for a complete understanding. So right here on the dashboard, we've got create new course. We're going to start with that in just a moment. I just want to take your attention to the area that says translations and certificates. That is basically if you are in another language or you are using another language, you would be able to create a translation of the course itself. So if I click on create new translation, I can just type in the name of the language. It will add it to it. And then you'll see the names or the content that you need to change and translate into your language. After it's done, you're just going to click on Save Translation. Now, if you are not going to make use of that, you can always just delete it. And that is basically setting up translations. For certificates, there are different kinds of themes that you can use that Builderall is offering, but you can also create your own theme by clicking on Add New Theme. Now, in this example, I've already created something right here, and you can see that I've typed in a theme name, which is Builderall. I've used the landscape as the orientation. You can upload a background image, meaning this background here that's black is then an image. Or you can choose to fill it, to contain and cover, so you can choose between the three there. And these are basically like tags. You can see I've got a tag called course name. You can add variety of different ones. You can even add a QR code onto the page. So let's say I would like to add the student's name. It will be added onto the page. Now, because this is black, it's obviously the text is in black and you will need to change that. So if I click on the name, for an example, you will see that you can change the width, the alignment, the font, the size, all those different kinds of things into different colors. I mean, if I have to do this, you can see that how that is changing from the one to the other. And that is how you would be able to add and create your own certificates. So for this example, I'm just going to close. And we're going to start by creating a brand new course. I'm going to click on create. We're going to write Builderall training as an example. An instructor name, and it's my name. So let me just add in Jackie de Klerk. And then you can choose as well a different category. So it depends on which category you have. If your category is not listed, you can see there's multiple different ones that was added at the bottom, and you just click on add category to choose that specific category, and then you can click on it and say next. Now you can go and upload an icon for your company. So I'm just going to go with that one. And then give it some time, and then once you have got it, you're going to go next and click on create a brand new course. Now you're on the inside of the course, and for this example we're going to go through all of these on the left hand side. So the first thing that we've got is the general settings. In this area, it's where you put your name. You can add a proper description in this area, and you've got this little toolbar at the top where you can modify and change it and even add images any way you like. There's also the function of adding HTML code. Then you've got a secret key. The secret key is mostly if you have already created your course, you can add a secret key, and the URL at the top is going to show whatever you type into that area. Here we've got our category, the translation, and this is where you are going to change to the translation sorry, that you have created. Now, if you know how long your course is, you would be able to go and type it right in here and say customize, and you're going to add it or calculate by lessons. It depends on your own choice right there. You can also enable an about page. The about page is basically where you are going to talk about a little bit about yourself, and you're going to add your image in right here. You can see there's place for image and the text. But if you do not want an about page in the navigation of the e-learning, you can just leave it out. But you can see what happens if we open and close it in that area. Then we've got the questions to the instructor. If you would like a person or your student that is in your e-learning to send you specific emails, you can do that and allow them by adding it like this, and make sure that you type in the email. But in this example, we are not going to allow for emails. Then we've got the show search bar, And it's important to note that it says it works only if registration is not required or the student is logged in. So that is very important to remember, if it's not required or if a person has been registered. And you can slide it by making use of that. Then you've got your outgoing emails that needs to be verified in Mailing Boss. Very important to have that email verified, and you can choose it from the drop down list. So in this example, I can just choose my name. And then if you want to add any analytics codes like you do with Google Analytics, you can do that by adding it right there in this area. And you can also upload a purchased icon to be displayed to the student on the purchase page if you wish. This is not compulsory. This is only if you want to. You can see the size that shows 320 by 180. And that's basically the general settings. Now let's go to the instructor. Now you can upload an image of the person. I'm just going to upload it for myself. And then write in the expertise, digital marketing consultant. And I'm just going to click save, because we need to make sure that we click save between all of these different areas that we are navigating through. Then we've got the registration and protection, which we will talk about in another video, because there's a lot that we need to cover there. The same with modules. And then we've got the FAQ. FAQ is basically where maybe you have questions that people always ask in your e-learning sessions. This is the place where you can add them. You can enable them or disable them. If it's enable, you click on add question, and you type in your question as well as the answer and just click on create question. And then that is going to show up in the e-learning itself, where people can actually see the questions. If you're not going to make use of it, you are just going to slide it to the left. So I'm just going to click on save. Then we've got to the final test and certificate. And here you've got three options. You've got final test settings, final survey, and certificate settings. Now for the final test settings right here, you can choose how you are going to moderate it, by percentage of right answer, by values amount of right answers, the pass percentage. Maybe you would say it needs to be 50% to be able to pass, and how many times they have, how many times can they attempt, and as well as the time limit. And then show results to the students. If you want the results that they have, or the results of the test, you just need to slide it. Unless you don't want that, you can just change it like that. And then you can add the questions at the bottom, because that is what the test is all about. Now for the test, you can see that there are multiple different kinds of options. You've got short answers, true and false, multiple choice, and number answers. So if I click on true and false, you can see the options are sitting right here. And each section of the editor will have different ways of adding it. You can see here we've got an add a question. So this is really easy to understand. I don't think I need to go too much in depth with regards to that. And that is the final test settings. Now, if you want to survey your clients or your users or your students, you can still do that within the e-learning, where it says add survey to course. And you can start adding the questions, and this is going to be available for them inside of the e-learning, where they can survey your course. That's really very cool option to have. You can see we've got quest text and add question to survey. So that is what that is concerned. Then we've got certificate settings. This is the certificates that I talked about earlier. You have the option to choose a certificate that is available, or a design that is done by Builderall, or the one that you have created. You can see it sits right here, the one that we've created as an example, or you can choose the one that they have. Then release a certificate to the student automatically when they pass. You can enable that or disable, and send it to their email when they passed. Enable or disable. You can also, if that is enabled, alter the email for the certificate, and here you can maybe write congratulations and a message to them, maybe if there is a download link where they can actually download something. So that is the settings with regards to final test. Once you've changed it, make sure to click on save. In the theme settings, you will have two different options. There's a standard theme and a modern theme. Now we will look at the themes once we are done with the modules and lessons and registration, because there is a little bit of design work when it comes to the standard and modern. But it's always best to go and create your course content first and then go back and create your design. You can also open the course with a theme editor, and most of the time it is the standard one. If you are choosing modern, you can see that changes, and the information that's needed changes as well. And that's why we will cover this as well in a separate training. Students' motivation is also a good way to motivate your students that are taking your course. Maybe if they have done something specific, you would be able to give them a badge, or maybe you are giving them access to something else. So you can write your achievement name at the top, give it a description, upload the icon, and then say how long do the person need to be in the course, or they need to pass the course at a certain level, and the amount of hours, and then you're going to click create. That is just going to give them that added motivation to actually finish the course. Then we've got the theme settings right here. Again, the theme settings is very much connected to your theme area right here, and we will talk about that in the other video when we cover themes. Under the integration area, you can see we've got a payment integration. If I click on add new integration, there is different platforms that you can integrate with. You've got Hotmart, Kiwify, and Edus. I don't know how to say that, but you've got these variants that you can choose from, and if you want to integrate with them, you're going to see that each one is asking different information. And when you scroll down, you got your confirmation settings in this area, and you just have to remember that you need to add the code that has been generated afterwards, and after you click on create integration, into either of those platforms that you are choosing. And that is basically how you would integrate it. But there will be another training video with regards to integrations. Now, the other one that we have is webhooks. Webhooks is all about when you want information to be taken out of the e-learning into Zapier or Publi. Maybe you want to see who are the people that has finished a course, and you want to send them a different types of email sequence, and you want to zap them out into another area. You can do that by clicking and add a webhook. Type in the URL, as well as choosing what is the information that you want to share with the other platform. But again, that is something that we will do in another video. So this is the basics with regards to setting it up. Once you have completed your modules registration and chose your theme, and you're 100% happy with it, you are going to activate the course by this green button. So for now, we are making it disabled because the course is not available yet. And then we're going to click save. And if you go back to the course list, you're going to see that your course is sitting right here in this area. And there is multiple things that you can do. If you click on embed, you can see you get a direct link that you can send people directly to your course, or you can embed it onto any platform that accepts the HTML code or embed code, iframe code, even inside of our own builder. And then we have got edits. If you want to make changes to the course data is going to be in this area, especially if you want to see if any of your students have sent you a message. You're going to find it in this area only if you have enabled it. Remember earlier I said you have to make sure that you enable it if you want to receive messages. This is going to be a list of all your students that you currently have in your course. You can export the students without their passwords. You can add, you can even import a student by downloading, by making use of .csv file. I would suggest that you download this file and use the exact requirements for the fields to make sure that it's been uploaded correctly. Then we've got the test results. If you've got tests that your students done, all their names and the information is going to be in this area, as well as comments. If they have made a comment to your course or any of your pages, you will be able to see it right here in this area. So just go back again to the top, back to the course list. Now we're going to take a look at the three dots. You can duplicate this course. You can transfer it to another Builderall user that has got access to e-learning. And then if there's any problems, if you click on that, it's going to show up that there was any issues in this area. And you can also delete the course. And that is all for the first video of setting up your e-learning. Make sure to watch the next video where we're going to talk about registration and protection. Thank you guys. See you soon. Bye.